Hello guys, what is up? Today we're going to be doing a quick little maintenance and cleaning video of the Geo 3.5. Alright, so jumping in, first thing we're going to do is clean the IV core. Alright, so to take out the IV core, it's a simple pull and slide of the bolt system in the back, just as I showed you. And now you're left with just the core. Alright, so here's the core. Alright, so as you can see, there are quite a few O-rings right here on the bolt system and the can. I'll try and point them out as best as I can. So first you unscrew the core from the prop shaft, like so. And there you go. Pop out the soft tip or the hard tip bolt. There you go. Alright, and so these are the different areas of the bolt system. Alright, so here's an O-ring. There's three O-rings on the outside and then one on the inside that many people like to forget about. And on this one there's only two O-rings, and on this one, on the prop shaft, there is an O-ring right here and right here. Alright, so when you're cleaning and maintaining your Geo, you want to make sure you get lube on each of these O-rings. Alright, and make sure you have a napkin on hand. And so first things first, you're going to want to get off that old lube. Alright. Here you go, so that one's done. Make sure to get the rest of these. Don't forget about that inside O-ring. Alright, and now for the prop shaft. Alright, here we go. Alright, and so we got that. Okay, next you're going to want to get your plant clips lube or grease, whatever you want to call it. And so now we're going to get the grease on the rest of these parts and these O-rings. Alright, you can determine how much lube or grease you want to use. I just take a small amount, I guess. It all depends on the person, I guess. And so you're going to want to put a little bit on the first O-ring, second O-ring, and then the can itself. You're going to want to get the can, the two O-rings, and then the O-rings down here. And don't ever forget about the O-ring on the inside of the can. Alright, let's move on a little more. I'll put that on the inside. Alright, so here we go. And it's all up to you on how much lube you want to use. But so we have that done, we have the can done. Alright, let's get the bolt itself, the soft tip. And it's up to you which bolt you want to use. You can use the hard tip or the soft tip. It's all on how brittle your paint is, or just which, it's all personal preference, I guess. Alright, so there we go. We got the soft tip bolt done. You can put that inside the core or the can itself right there. Alright. Next, we're going to move on to the prop shaft. Alright, so remember there are two O-rings, one right here and one right there. One right there, one right there. Alright, so make sure you get both of those O-rings. I'm going to put just a little bit right there and right there. Alright. And done. Alright, so now you can slide the prop shaft into the can, and now you can get the IV core put together. And there we go. And you've just cleaned and lubed the prop shaft and the can. Alright, there we go. So next, you can put this back into the 3.5. Alright, like so. Alright, so you can put it right back into your 3.5 marker. And there you go. This is pretty standard throughout all the Plant Eclipse Geos. Just about every Plant Eclipse Geo you can clean and maintain the same way. Just different styles of removing the bolt and various other parts of the marker. Alright, and so moving on, the next thing we're going to go into is the AT pipe and the regulator. As you can see, the AT pipe does unscrew like so. So what you're going to want to do is hold on to this. Let me zoom in. What you're going to want to do is hold on to this part right here and unscrew clockwise, I believe. Alright, and there we go. So we have the AT pipe. You can simply pull it upward and then pop it out. simple. Alright, and so what you're going to want to do is unscrew the same way you were screwing it in. Alright, like so. Just keep unscrewing it, and then eventually it will come out. And so on the AT pipe right here, alright, let's move the marker out of the picture. Alright, so there we go. As you can see, the AT pipe is in 2 sections. And so as you can see, let me grab this. So as you can see, there's an O-ring right here, right there, and right there. So 3 O-rings in total, one right there, and right there. So 3 O-rings total. You're going to make sure you want to lube those. Alright, and I would use a very little amount of lube as possible. And as you can see, just put a little bit on that O-ring, and then you can use the rest on the outer O-ring, like so. Alright, so you have that part. Now let's get a little bit more, and we'll finish the rest of this AT pipe. And complete. Alright, so there we go. Now you can put the AT pipe back together. Alright, here we go. And done. Okay, so here we go. Let's grab the marker again. Alright, and as you can see, this is the regulator right here. So we'll pop that regulator out, and you can complete this by just, unscrewing it, or let's see, there we go. You can take it out like so. Alright, and now the regulator, the SL4 regulator, is broken down into 3 parts. Just the body itself, like this, and then there's a bottom cap right here, and the AT pipe. I'm not sure what this is called right here, but it goes right beneath, or right above the bottom cap. That holds the AT pipe and connects it to the body, or the frame. Alright, and so there we go, we got our 3 parts right here. Let's move the marker again. And just another part of this, there is an O-ring right here. You're going to want to make sure you lube that O-ring too. Alright, we'll set this aside. Alright, we'll zoom in. Here we go. Alright, and so now you have your can, the AT pipe part that connects the AT pipe to the frame, and then the bottom cap right here. Alright, so now there is a plunger inside the reg. You're going to want to make sure you get that out there, and then you can lube that. Alright, so now you have your 4 parts. These are the 3 housing parts, and so now you have your spring and your plunger. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is grab your napkins, and we'll wipe the previous lube off these things. Alright, there we go. So we got the spring done. Gonna want to do that with the plunger too as well. Alright, and make sure you get the body of the reg. Alrighty, there we go, and that should be about it. Alright, and so next you're going to want to grab a little bit of lube. It's up to you on how much you want to use. I wouldn't use that much, but it's totally personal preference, I guess. Alright, and so we got the spring complete right there. Just make sure you put a little bit of lube on that. Alright, and so next you're going to want to get the plunger. There's the O-ring, make sure you get that. And then you can put it on the body itself because the spring will be kind of touching that. And so there we go. So we have that part complete. Put the spring back on it. And you can put it back into the reg. There we go. Alright. Sometimes it can be a pain to get back in if it's not perfectly in there. There we go. Alright, so it's popped back in. Now we got that. And so what you can do now is, so where the AT pipe connects to the regulator right here, right there, as you can see, that part, there is 2 O-rings inside of there. You can put a little bit of lube in there. right here and right there, as you can see. There we go. Alright, and so next you can just put the part back onto the rig, pop it back on there, there you go, and now you can screw back the bottom cap. There we go, and done. Boom. Alright, and so you can take your napkin and just wipe the outside of it if it is a little bit greasy, because at times it can. And there we go. Alright, so next we're going to grab the Geo 3.5. We're going to grab and we're going to lube this O-ring right here. Alright, and here we go. Okay, so now that we have the regulator done, we can just screw it back onto the frame, the body. Alright. Alright, there we go. And so now that that's on, you can just put the AT pipe back in there, like so. You can keep screwed in, make sure to screw it in all the way. Alright. Alright, there we go. And that's it. That's about all the maintenance you're going to need to do on the Geo 3.5 marker. There are other aspects of the marker that you can clean, like under the eye covers and the ASA, but none of that really needs to be getting into right now. And to get the back part, as you can see, there is a little bit of grime and dirt on the back console, I guess you could say. But to get that, basically how to clean that part, I'll quick show you how to do that. So what you're going to want to need is one of your Allen wrenches, one of the smaller ones, the hex, and there we go. You're going to want to unscrew this screw right here. Alright. Alright, and make sure you have either a tech mat or a table to make sure, or a few napkins that you're working on, so that you do not lose these screws that you have. You definitely don't want to lose those small screws, because that would be a pain. Alright, and so to get this part off, usually I would recommend you take out the outer grips first, but for this situation you can just take off the back console like so. Alright, so now you have that. You have the membrane and the plastic screen right there that kind of has like the dirt and grime, and you can toss that into the wash or whatever. Not the wash, but like you can wash it off and stuff. And so you can pop her back on. Alright. There we go. Alright, and don't forget to screw this back in. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.